another big edition of the MCDFNL Footy Show. Looking ahead to round 11, thanks to our friends at the Bendigo Bank. I'm joined by Grant from the Maryborough Advertiser. Thanks for joining us, mate.
No worries, I'm back again. Can't get rid of me.
Oh, it's going to be called Grant TV, which is crazy at the moment. The Maryborough Advertiser mania is running wild as we look ahead to round 11 in senior footy. And first game we'll have a look at is Avoca and Navarre.
A good game, no doubt about it. I think Navarre will probably get up in this one. They've got that break in fifth now. They won't want to let that go. I think we talked when it comes to the ladder positions, that's sort of what Avoca team will rock up. Avoca definitely, with their best team, is capable. But Navarre just seem to be getting better and better at the moment. So it's going to be a tough one to beat. Yeah,
it's a game that Avoca needs to win to keep itself into finals calculations. But it seems like it could... If they get a scalp here, this could be the one that maybe lodges them in the top 8.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's plenty to play for, but Navarre just really won't want to drop that game because you've got that bank that they're going to fall back down onto if they do drop it. So, yeah.
Speaking of an interesting contest, we've got Maldon and Newstead. Now, if the Bombers can win and win well here, that window becomes a little bit bigger when it comes to playing top 8 finals.
Yeah, so Maldon just need to keep on winning.
And win well.
And win well as well. So you have a look at the teams that Maldon have got close to or beaten, and they're just coming off that win against Lexington. You'd say they should be too good for Newstead, but Newstead with a break, anything's possible with that young team as well. Fresh legs might be able to get the job done.
The next game we've got Campbell's Creek and Trentham. The Saints need a massive win on the board here to not only give the win but also add a percentage.
Yeah, absolutely. So Trentham's goal for the next couple of weeks is percentage. Creek's a good opportunity to do that. It's on Creek's home ground and might come as a bit of disadvantage because I think Carisbrook found it pretty easy to score on a small ground. If you win the centre clearance, you're probably going to score well. Trentham don't have a lot of known goal kickers. I know Cooper Webber Merkin, he's been kicking goals. I think Jake Keogh, if they put him forward, he could really enjoy this one, and he could get a bag, maybe 8. I think he's kicked bags of 8 and 9 last year, I remember, so I think he might get a hold of it. Also, Strickland as well. He's a big marking target, so if they can get it down to him, he can kick some goals as well in this one.
Yeah, we both think Trentham will win that one. Carisbrook and Maryborough Rovers. What Rovers side is going to show up? I ask Mitch about it every single week. What we're going to see from them this week?
You just want to see a competitive effort, I think, especially when you're coming up against a team like Carisbrook. Win a couple of quarters, minimise the damage as much as possible. Rovers have got some good players that can definitely match Carisbrook in certain areas. Brad Fraser will, go pretty hard against Jackson Bowen in the ruck, and they've got Bryce Fletcher, who, he's one of the better players in the league at the moment. He's been in the Rovers' best. If you're going to follow that, he's been in their best nearly every week. So they've got the capability of matching them, but I think Carisbrook just will overwhelm them, especially on their home ground. They've played their home ground really well, Carisbrook, and they'll just be able to pick them apart in that extra bit of space, I think.
Simply sensational. Denali and Lexington, the Tigers, need a big win here.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's the first of what they need. They've got a list of wins that they need to get. They dropped that one against Maldon, and they just beat Talbot, so again, they probably don't want to really meet Denali at the moment. They probably want to beat a better side just to work out where they are. But let's just get the win on the board, get that percentage, which is probably going to play a role at the end of the season as well. But yeah, it should be a pretty easy one. Denali just need to compete, and like I said in a couple of episodes ago, set their team goals and try and execute as best as possible.
What's that one with great interest? Natty Bialba face a Royal Park side, the Tigers. Well, if they're going to really start to make an impression in the top 8, this is going to be the game where they really need to turn it on.
We've got them finishing in the 8, so these are the sort of teams that they're going to meet. So you'd want to see them put in a really good effort. And Royal Park are a team that, when they get on a roll, they get on a roll. They've always got a lot of people around the ground, and they're very vocal. So if they can get it, a good start and maybe spook Natty, anything's a bit possible. Natty have been starting games reasonably well. They've had a few slower starts in recent weeks when they went through that really good patch where they were just putting games out early. That's what you want to do against Royal Park, because when they get going, they get going. But if you can knock the game over early, especially at home, Natty should be able to get that one pretty comfortably. But again, the challenge is to keep winning for Natty, but I don't see him being threatened this week too greatly.
And the match of the round, Talbot and Harcourt. This is a massive contest between 3rd and 4th.
A beauty, and right at the right time of the year as well. So they got that 3rd and 4th matchup. Tough one, the split. I mean, Talbot went down to Lexington, but then they recovered well with Trentham, which was a tough game. There wasn't a lot in it. They've had that week off to get healed from that, so both teams should be pretty level. Harcourt's probably the quieter achiever. They sort of slipped down the ladder when they lost to Carisbrook and then Trentham, and now they're right back in it. And they'd probably want to send a message at the moment with a big win over Talbot. I've got a feeling Harcourt are going to win this one, but I can't really give a reason for it. I just think Harcourt are a team that won't roll over, and if they get on top, Talbot are definitely capable, but Talbot will want to lead this match from the start, I think. If they fall behind, I think Harcourt is just a team that won't let it go, but Harcourt by under 10 points for me, but yeah. I would no shock if Talbot wins either.
Yeah, and I think Talbot they've got the runs on the board in terms of establishing themselves as a credible team this year, whereas Harcourt, they've been well, but Talbot is clearly probably the top 3 side. So if Harcourt do get the win, I think it makes things very interesting in the top half.
Absolutely. And it's going to make it really interesting on the run home. This game probably means a lot because those teams, they could easily, I know they're going to be in 3rd and 4th maybe, but they could easily meet in like the 2nd or the 3rd week of finals depending on how results go. So just to get that mental edge as well is worth its weight in gold at this time of the season.
Do they look ahead to our predictions and go, well, maybe we don't want to be facing Carisbrook in the first week of the finals, so they might just take it a little bit easier? Not to say any team would do that, but that's what could be facing them for the team finishing 3rd. It's not necessarily the best position.
Not a lot of joy in facing Natty in first though either.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
I think, and that's a fair while off. And I think we both sort of had a look, and I think Harcourt's probably got a bit of a tougher run, and Talbot's probably got a little bit of an easier one. So Harcourt will be coming out hard for this one because they know every win's going to be worth their weight in gold. So I don't think anybody's going to be taking it easy this week. It's a bit too far to think about where you're going to end up exactly.
Sensational, mate. Well, speaking of worth its weight in gold, the support of Bendigo Bank is definitely worth its weight in gold. And for you too, mate, with all the great work you've been doing at the Maryborough Advertiser, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll no doubt catch you soon.
Absolute pleasure.